And viewers and listeners to the Rockford news scene over the last several years have seen a lot of familiar names and voices move onward and upward in the industry. Not everyone sticks around. 23 News photojournalist Eric Engstrom talks with some big names in Chicago radio who got their start in Rockford.
WBBM News Time 105. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding.
More than 35 years ago, three up-and-coming radio rookies stepped into different studios in Rockford. One chose news, another rock and roll, and the third top 40 hits. But all worked in the same building, housing WROK and WZOK. I found all three among the skyscrapers of the Windy City, working for Chicago's top-rated stations. Lisa Dent with WGN, Lisa Fielding at WBBM-AM, and Joe Soto with V103. All holding fond memories of their small market beginnings.
When we met, we were all in our 20s and all new to a new station, away from our families. Not a lot of us were from Rockford, so we automatically bonded that way. And as you know, to be a journalist or to be in the radio or television business, you have to be kind of crazy.
It was special because it was kind of new, and the people that I work with, we were all on the come up. We were trying to make it, and we were learning from each other.
I was 22 years old. Green, fresh, really did not know what I was doing at all. But these guys really taught me the ropes right away. We were really, really competitive. And Rockford, as you know, has a lot of big town news in a small town market.
Rockford's my hometown, and I always wanted to work at WZOK. That was my dream. So did everything I could to get in at WZOK, and that meant working from 2 in the morning to 6 in the morning.
They say the medium is now different from the 1980s, with technology changing rapidly.
I remember when they would let me take phone calls, but you had to record them and put them on the air.
And we did it with the reel-to-reel and the razor blades. And you'd have to find, had to find the beginning of the conversation.
You'd have to use a knife and splice it and put a little piece of tape and hope that the glitch wasn't audible.
And if it was lagging, you'd have to edit all that mess out, and then you find the, and then you put it together, and then you'd have to put that piece of tape over a song.
That's so crazy now. At WGN, all phone calls are live, but through the years, you'd simply record them, quickly edit, and get them on the air. I could edit while I was talking on the air, go to the phone call that was on tape, so to speak, tape. But back then, it really was tape.
Working for you in Chicago, Eric Engstrom, 23 News.
We'll hear more from that trio coming up tomorrow right here on 23 News this morning. Yeah, things have changed technology-wise quite a bit. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on 23 News This Morning.
We continue our chat with three Chicago radio mainstays who got their careers started in the state line. Tomorrow.
Wake up with Andy, Aaron, and Marta. Weekdays on 23 News This Morning from 5 to 7.
It is 6:18. We've got 49 degrees on this Tuesday morning. Yesterday morning at this time, we took a look at some big radio names in Chicago, talking about getting their careers started in Rockford. This morning, multimedia journalist Eric Engstrom talks with them about how lessons learned in Rockford years ago have helped shape their careers.
More than 3.5 decades since Joe Soto spun records at WROK and WZOK in Rockford, he said one important lesson sticks with him.
Work ethic. There's a lot of men and women more talented than me, even today, but not many could outwork me, and that's because of ROK, ZOK. We had to work. We were there long days, long hours. We didn't make a lot of money, but we loved it. I learned work ethic from the men and women that I worked at side by side, more than any other place, ROK, ZOK, and Rockford.
Lisa Dent says the impassioned mentors she worked with at WZOK made her the radio personality she is today.
I just watched the people around me. I felt that we had the best team during the early 80s at WROK and WZOK. I mean, I was working with, Fred Spear on the AM side and John Strandon and the late, great John Arthur, who was a dear friend who I loved. And watching him do morning radio really laid a foundation.
Lisa Fielding saw Rockford as a great catalyst for a successful career, not only through her role at WROK, but also as an anchor for 23 News.
There was always some crazy story happening. Good news, bad news. As a reporter, you see people at their worst and their best, and you're there to tell those stories. And it was a really wonderful experience, and I really learned almost everything that I've learned today there. And not only my skill set from veterans, such as Fred Spear and Ken DeCoster, but everyone in television in Rockford as well.
Though the three of them now broadcast in the third largest market in the country, they haven't forgotten the small city and the people that fueled their passions all those years ago.
One of the things that I took away was, learning to connect with your community and give back, because every big event we did had a charitable component, and that's something I'd carry with me the rest of my life.
It's just a beautiful place with beautiful relationships and people that all these years later we're still friendly with each other. We still keep in touch. WROK, WZOK was a magical time and still a magical place, if you ask me.
We still laugh about the old days and how great it was. And we have a lot of people that work across the country that still talk about how Rockford was a special place. Not only to find a family when you didn't have yours near you, but also find a path for the rest of your life. So.
Working for you in Chicago, Eric Engstrom, 23 News.
Some of those glasses styles are coming back.
Yes,
Big
they are.
ones, yeah.
Hairstyles, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I don't know. Shoulder pads, I don't know.
6:21 now. We've got a temperature at 49 degrees. We'll be right back.